Welcome to Unmuted Nation Raw, and welcome back to Monday. I am happy to be here, and I want to first give a quick thanks and shout out to Tiff Linnell for holding down Unmuted Nation on Thursday and Friday. Your boy needed a vacation. I've got one. We're back. We're going to go through things tonight, and we're going to see what happens. If you're watching for the first time, then maybe you don't know what's supposed to be planned tonight. If you are watching for a certain reason, you know what's up. And if you're listening on the radio, you're not getting it live, but you know what we've been planning. Unmuted Nation airs on Boss FM Radio Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern. So if you do not have the Boss FM Radio app, take some time right now to download that app as quickly as you can. Go find it in your app store. You can do it right now because I'm going to just do a little intro. And I'm trying to, it's raw, guys, so I'm still trying to get connected. We black today, just real black. Lots of developments over the last few days, especially since I haven't been here to kind of talk about it. But Tiff Linnell also had some amazing guests last week. So if you missed that, if you missed any part of that, don't mind me not looking at you. I'm just trying to get connected. Then that it went down. And Friday, I didn't get to catch all of the show Thursday. But on Friday, there was just an amazing Kia Speaks came and they kind of really, really held it down. And so I'm always excited to see good work and I think good conversation. I learned some things watching them and I always like to learn. I think one of the main things about the nation, as we talk about frequently, is that this is a place that you come to have a conversation, an open dialogue, that we all talk about things, and then you take it back to your family and friends. And that's literally the types of things that we see happening at the nation. Okay, so I think I'm connected at this point. So we can jump into it full swing. If you know how to check us out, again, Boss FM Radio, Unmuted Nation, Monday through Friday. And then, of course, the Unmuted Nation podcast is available anywhere a podcast is available. Make sure you subscribe to the Unmuted Nation podcast. So I'm a whole mess today, but that's okay. So we'll jump into it, and we have some developments. The show may not be as long as you expect it to be, as long as I expect it to be, and that's okay also. Florida started early voting today, which is good news, right? Anytime we're seeing early voting, we see people getting excited about voting and deciding to make the decision. And I want to talk about Florida and specifically red states where we are seeing a lot of suppression tactics being applied. I would call it systemic suppression. Goes right hand in hand with systemic oppression. We've got places, and we talked about this in the last few weeks, that even in Virginia, we know that they said there was no harm, no foul, but on the last day of voter registration, a line was cut, and the voter registration systems in Virginia went down. The Texas governor, who it would typically, they get on the media and they say this will be a low blow to him. He's disabled, but he also intentionally passed an executive order to ban an expansion of voting ballots, early voting ballot boxes in counties, even counties as large as Harris County, which holds Houston with over 4 million residents, one ballot box for that entire state. There's some pictures from Florida today. They began early voting with no significant problems. So unlike their sister state, Georgia, right? We've all seen what's going on in Georgia, how things are going on in Georgia, how things are playing out in Georgia. As we look at these pictures, the lines are long, no matter where you are, no matter what. That's just part of the process. But the numbers are excessive for the number of people that have actually early voted. We are seeing monumental success in what's available and what is what is also unprecedented. States like Georgia, over 1 million voters at the last I checked, and this is without me doing any fact checking or being connected today. And so it is working. My goal, not my goal, my charge to you is that if you end, because I've also seen in some counties that the voting lines have not been as long as they are. So do not let the photos deter you. Do not let long lines pack a snack. I know I was seeing some articles and all of the newer I guess I'll call them new media outlets are really analyzing this. People are wondering if they can order, if it's illegal or legal to order food to the poll lines. I don't even think that those laws could be on the books because the type of turnout that we're having in this current time that we're in is just unprecedented. So there's really no way to know what people are doing or how that's happening. So it's really good to see that Florida has been able to have a smooth sailing process, especially with things have gone and how things have gone down in that state in the past. If you don't know much about general elections, or if you have not been a part of general elections and you don't really get what has happened, Florida has a soiled history when it comes to general elections. We can look at the 2000 election with George Bush and Al Gore, just a whole mess. I don't even have time for it tonight, but Florida has long been a state that we have a lot of trouble with. So it's good to see that. On that note, I'm finding a lot of things that are a little bit troubling, a little bit frustrating, and a little bit baffling. Baffling is the right word. We've talked about this and how important it is. Part of the reason that we do this show and the way that we do it is so that you can be educated and that people can be educated in what they do and what they support. What we are finding is that in this era of misinformation, and you may not understand what misinformation means, you may not have a true and solid and viable understanding of how misinformation affects you. We've put those resources out there for you. We will continue to do that on our social platforms. But know that it is important for you to know the story end to end. And when you don't know the story end to end, you close the gaps on your own. The danger in that is that there's so much misinformation available at your fingertips. If you don't know what to look for, you may fall into that information faster than you expect. That's a frustrating thing because you hear buzzwords. If you are a person that has not voted in the past, and this is no condemnation, this is me really wanting you to tap into this election. If you have registered and you're able, if you haven't registered at this point, go ahead and register. You will not be able to vote in this general election. Again, I've said this before and I will say it again. Voter registration is not like your relationship with Sprint or T-Mobile, okay? You cannot call them and say, oh, I just missed the deadline. Can you extend it for me? That's not going to happen. It doesn't work like that. And so many of us are in those routines of trying to define our own lane or manipulating the system to work for us. And in this case, voting doesn't work that way. So it's important for you to get the information that you need. It's also important that you find information from viable sources. Over the summer, we shared a clip from Malcolm X. And this clip, I believe, if I remember correctly, is from 1966. And he was having a conversation about 65. And I may be off with the date, and that's okay. Somebody will fact check me. But he was having a conversation with a reporter explaining how the Black community is often swayed by entertainers. Take a listen. We'll talk about this.
I just told you a little while ago, these leaders that they call leaders, this included Lena Horne, this included Dick Gregory, and this included comedians, comics, trumpet players, baseball players. Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the white community and over the black community by the white community and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear.
So you may have missed that. I'm going to replay it again, but I want you to hear that. I want you to be very, very understanding about the media that you consume. On most platforms, no matter who you're listening to, maybe it's a popular Black or urban platform, it's a popular platform, period. The people that have a voice that you are able to listen to are often funded by people that do not have your best interest at heart. They really are more interested in the bottom line. That said, if you look at historically, who the Black people looks at, or how and let me take it, let me roll it back and put it to
I
you
just
this way.
told you a little while ago, these leaders that they call leaders, this included Lena Horne, this included Dick Gregory, and this included comedians, comics, trumpet players, baseball players. Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the white community and over the Black community by the white community, and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear.
All right, so I'm not going to go all hotep. I'm not going to say, all the Black leaders and celebrities are out here and they're paid by white people to say things to sway you one way. But I will say this. How do you feel when you find out a prominent Black person in the Black community, somebody that you have idolized or lifted above, you attribute higher thinking and higher expectations on them? How devastated are you or have you been when you find out that they have decided to vote for Donald Trump? I'm not here to tell you who to vote for, but I am here to tell you that you are getting information, and I want you to be focused on that. And then I want you to think about the counterparts, the white counterparts of some of our entertainers. And I want you to think about the white celebrities that you know that have been public about their decision making. And I also want you to do your own research. I'm going to tell you that it's not there, but I want you to see if the white people, or if the white community has gotten upset about white celebrities and the statements that they make or people that they endorse. The Black community is actually more vocal about celebrities in general, whether it's a Black celebrity or not. In Hollywood, you see a number of liberal celebrities that are out, and they have been advocates for Black Lives Matter. They've been advocates for civil rights. They've been advocates for LGBTQ rights. All of these things. We've seen them. I've seen them. You've seen them. And then you get to the Black community, and you have Black people that have been advocates for all of the same things that I've mentioned. They also tell you who and why they're voting. They tell you the work that they are doing in the community. You look, I'm going to pull Kerry Washington as an example of somebody that has done some impeccable work. You look on her Twitter timeline right now, and it's nothing but voting resources, information. Issa Rae is another one. I'm naming Black women, and not by design. This is just all that's available. You look at her timeline, you see nothing but voting resources. You see nothing but enabling tools for you, not telling you who to vote for, but how to vote, why your vote matters, where it should come from. What you're starting to see from Black men in the Black community, which is disgusting and disturbing, is a suppressive tactic asking you not to vote. If you look at Ice Cube's timeline over the last 4 months, he said repeatedly that you should not vote. Diddy has come out and said months ago that we're withholding the Black vote. Now, 50 Cent today, I'm voting for Joe Biden, but the message so cryptic. Let's see if we have that. 50 Cent posted today that after seeing Joe Biden's tax code for the first time on CNBC, that he, in fact, was not going to vote for Donald Trump, but he's going to vote for, not for Joe Biden, but 50 Cent. So 50's caption says here, and to spare you reading it, I'll just say it for you. What the fuck? Vote for Trump, I'm out. Fuck New York, the Knicks never win anyway. I don't care. Trump doesn't like Black people. 62% are you out of your fucking mind? Okay. Leave that up for me because, just for a second, because I want you to focus on also a tweet that went viral last week. As Katrina Pearson, an advisor to the president, tweeted out about Ice Cube. We heard from Katrina, which Katrina identifies as Black, but she's always been a Trump supporter. We've known her. You may not know who she is, but whatever. Shout out to Ice Cube for his willingness to step up and work with Donald Trump, the Donald Trump, real Trump whatever his name is, administration to help develop the Platinum Plan. Okay, so before we even get into the Platinum Plan, let's talk about this tweet from 50 Cent. And let's also talk about Joe Biden's tax plan. If you're somebody that has not been following this, or you're piecing information together, if you missed me talking about that at the beginning of the show, our minds are designed to connect the knowledge that we know with knowledge that we learn. If you only know certain things, anybody that finishes the thought for you is somebody that you're going to believe. That's why many of you believe Candace Owens is well-spoken and that she is, you understand her perspectives and her viewpoints and why she would share the way that she does and her opinions, but you also lack information if you think what she says is true. 50 Cent here, and put it up one more time because I want to point out something. Specifically, as it shows, this was a clip from CNBC. They showed Joe Biden's tax plan and the tax rates. And these rates are for people that make over $400,000 a year. So going back to my comment on information, right? If you only have limited information and you do know that different presidents have changed the tax code and the tax rate, and you've seen more money in your check, less money in your check. Maybe you understand that you can't deduct certain things anymore because of tax code changes. Then you know that presidents affect the tax code in one way or the other. But you see 50's tweet, and you automatically assume, and this is a suppressive tactic, that Black people are often used to convince other Black people that have little information, right? You see that. You say Joe Biden's going to raise the taxes by 62%. The next thing you know, you screenshot that, and it's in all of your group texts. You're DMing it to people, and you're like, damn, Biden wilding. But is Joe Biden really wilding? Because do you make $400,000? If you don't, this tax code does not apply to you. Which goes back to what Malcolm X was saying, what Malcolm X said. What is the point of getting this information from sources, puppets, trumpet players, fake ass rappers? Like, what's the point of getting your information from them if it doesn't apply to you? And that's why we do this. Ice Cube has come out and he's had a lot to say, lots of backlash. He did say that he offered the plan to both the Trump administration and the incoming in faith Biden administration. And he was very clear on his directive, right? Simone Sanders, a senior advisor to Joe Biden, actually tweeted Q back and said, we released our plan. We also sent it to you. That tweet, I don't think we have it. It doesn't matter. Joe Biden has a plan for Black people, and you don't even need Google. JoeBiden.com/Black America. You can read it right there. Now, am I a Joe Biden apologist? No. Am I an advocate? No. I'm just somebody that's giving you the facts, and I think you need to know. You need to go and look at the plan, right? If you really want to know where I sit with it, how is there one plan for Black America? Black America is not monolithic. We are not one way. We are not one people. We don't all think the same. We don't all live the same. We don't all believe the same. We don't all act the same. From the Trump administration, my response to you, when you say what you've done for the Black community and cite criminal reform or crime reform, most of us aren't criminals. I don't even know any criminals. I don't know people that are locked up. I don't know people that plan benefits. So for that to be a Black plan and the Black agenda, I've got a fundamental problem with that. I also have a huge problem with polyester sisters get up there and start talking about what Donald Trump has done, and he really hasn't. And hopefully the Trump supporters that committed to being here tonight show up. But if not, it is what it is. More scheduled tomorrow, and if they come, we'll do what we do. But and I want you to examine. You're like, well, maybe I do. You know, my uncle got locked up on some bullshit. Okay, I get it. Is he out? Because in the same breath, Donald Trump, the same president that is going after your health care, those of you that may not even know about this, people that that the Trump administration has released, his same Justice Department is locking those same people back up. You see the same one every time. Alice Johnson, Alice Johnson, Alice Johnson, Alice Johnson. But like, come on. Come on. Trump's Justice Department has decided that some of the charges that they have committed were just too heinous. Way too heinous. And, you know, I think that smoke and mirrors, right? We've any black media that you go to right now, including the ones owned by the network here, you're going to find think pieces about black men succumbing to Donald Trump. I want you to know that some of this is going to be propaganda. Because groupthink, right? Oh, well, my homie is voting for Donald Trump. I think I'm going to vote for Donald Trump. I'm for me and mine. Somebody said that to me directly. I'm for me and mine, man. And Trump is for him and his. You know, they good. Are they? Donald Trump owes somebody $400,000. You're like, well, you know, he rich. In Donald Trump's words, and I didn't watch it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm usually here to inform you, like I know. I didn't watch those damn town halls. I was on vacation, but I did see this clip. He said $400,000 is just a percentage of my net worth. Your net worth can't be validated by anybody, so we don't really know what you owe. But I can tell you what the problem. Let me tell you, for those of you like it's still not connecting, he's a billionaire. He can owe whoever he wants. The president of the United States does not need to owe other foreign countries. Because when the president of these United States owes foreign countries, he will also yield to whatever their demands are, especially if he cannot pay them. So who's actually responsible for that? You as the citizen. And that's why your vote matters. That's why you have to get out there, and that's why you have to be a part of this. Okay. I could go on all day. We are going to talk about black men, and specifically to black men that have seemed to find this awakening or found a new enlightenment that they feel comfortable voicing their because I feel like you should feel comfortable for whoever you vote for. But this comfort reads to me like overconfidence and stupidity. And you're like, okay, bro, I'm voting for Donald Trump. I've been rocking for you for a long time, but you're not gonna call me stupid. I want you to look at the facts. I just want you to look at the facts. And those of you that jump into my inbox with it, wonderful. Thank you. We can talk about it. I want you to tell me what he's done. And you ask me, like, I get it. I get it. From a financial standpoint, if you made $400,000 or more, and you were about you and yours, the tax code works for you. I'm not going to lie to you about that. There are a lot of, there are a lot of policies, which it's hard for me to identify with one party because I think that I see good things in both. I always have. But I cannot get with a party that has routinely discounted, demeaned, and denied people that look like me. And so the Republican answer to that is usually the 94 crime bill locked all y'all up. No, it didn't. It locked a lot of us up. It affected us in some very, 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 very detrimental ways. But at the end of the day, there's a party that does not have the best interest for my Black life. And so I get it. It's really easy to see yourself and say, well, this is about me. This is about my family. And forget everybody else. Nobody else is doing anything for me. And I totally understand that mindset. That is 100% American, 100% a capitalist way to think. I totally understand why somebody would feel that way until you need the community to feel for you. And the moment that you need the community to feel for you, you feel like, oh, well, you know, nobody has ever had my back. You didn't have the back of the community. And so I get, you know, we are at this weird intersection where people, and it is just us, you know, it's our nature. Nobody has looked out for Black people. And it's valid when we say the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, neither party has done their due diligence to Black people or to the Black community. No argument at all. There's one party, one out of the two, that continues to advocate for the opportunities of equality and not take them away. And when you look at it from that perspective, you may think that, and people, you know, we're all over the place on this issue, right? I think that it gets so extreme and people get confused, and when you don't know about it, you just give up. You say, I'm not talking about it. I don't want to watch it. And that's why we know that 6% of voters are undecided. They speculate that 6% of voters are undecided. But many of you have already made up your mind, right? You don't watch me. You don't listen to me. You don't watch no news. You really don't give a damn. You want all of this to go away, and you just want to vote, and you just want to move on. That's understandable as well. We all have the main responsibility that we have is to show up, and just kind of stand firm. I want to talk about Kamala and a message that she had to Black men. She was very, very clear. I don't know if we have the audio, but she sat down with the griot, and she says that she does not believe that anyone has to vote for us. Words of Kamala Harris. I believe we have to earn their vote. And to your point, what is it that will earn the vote? She expressed that she had some grievances just about Black men expressing their passion and their desire to vote for Donald Trump. But I disagree with Kamala. I think, yes, Kamala, Joe, y'all need to win everybody's vote. But when we look at percentages, you know, Black men, they said they're looking out for them and their best interest. Those that are saying this, they're just not looking at the facts. Donald Trump has been in office for over 3 years, and for a plan to be derived to and to be called the Platinum Plan. Very flashy. We went through a list of businesses that Trump once owned last week. Entertaining for your taking. Go check it out. Somebody like me is really, really disrespected. I feel extremely disrespected and demeaned when someone acknowledges me at the last bit. What we know and who's made the difference, and Kamala, this is why I agree with you, and I disagree with you. I disagree. We don't need to appeal to Black men because sometimes they show out, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't. Black women show up every single time. Black women vote every single time. The statistics show that, like, these are just the facts. So who we actually need to appeal to is Black women. What are we doing to ensure that they are going to live as they give birth? White women live, why shouldn't Black women? I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole, but like, these are the types of things, seriously, that we have to keep in mind. I think my personal thought here, when I try to analyze it myself, because I don't know the reason. And when we talk to these Black men, I don't get it. But I do believe that it's possible that you see yourself, you see success, and you see what you want for your family in a shyster, right? In somebody that's just shady in all of his dealings, a stunt queen by all means. You see yourself in what he has done with nothing, which you don't consider that his dad gave him $40 million that he lost. Then we can go over and over and over again, bro. You don't have that to lose, right? You can't lose your family and your children at taking a risk like this. But we can go on and on and on. I want to let's stay on Kamala for a second and talk about Senator David Perdue. from Georgia. Now, David has been a senator for a since I lived there. Okay, old white, and I'm trying to. It's hard to address disrespect respectfully, right? I don't like to come at senior citizens disrespectfully. I, do not at a rally that I can't even get it out. At a rally that he had over the weekend, he repeatedly mispronounced Kamala's name, and I think we have it. Maybe not yet. Okay, so gist of the story: he repeatedly mispronounced her name over and over and over again. Kamala, just like you know how you have a very simple name. I actually saw my boy Jared Hill was posting today how people just can't get his name right. It was on his Instagram story. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. People calling him J-Rod, Jared, Joe Rod, different spellings. You know how they do when it comes to our names. So when you have been a senator and Kamala Harris is a senator, you can't, there's only 50 of y'all. Somebody that you work with, somebody that you work with. You know her name. But that's what they call a dog whistle to your base of racist. Just like Donald Trump talking about President Obama was never born here. Well, I don't believe it. I don't believe he has, like, you know, you don't believe it because he's more educated than you. But they throw that red meat to people that already have hatred towards people, but they're not racist because their nephew has a black wife, you know? Like that's these people. The telling thing about this is that you all are really showing up and supporting. Okay, so I think what's really dope is just after David Perdue goes after Kamala and mispronounces her name, Jon Ossoff, his opponent, raises $1.8 million in Georgia. Didn't have to do a damn thing. So my encouragement there, keep up the racism. Keep it up. Keep it up. We got the video now. David Perdue.
We have a video that your campaign has sent over, and I just want to let the audience know this came from your campaign. This is not an NBC News vetted piece of video, so I just want to warn you all of that. But I'm going to play this video because it is of your opponent, David Perdue, at a rally, I guess at the Trump rally that's in Macon, Georgia tonight. And let's just play that video, and then I'll get your thoughts on the other side.
And Kamala or what? Kamala, I don't know. Whatever.
So basically,
Look,
that's,
this is,
you know,
this is,
we don't know
this
what he
is
said
what
after
Donald
that,
Trump has
but
done
he
to
was
the
sort of
GOP.
making fun of. Yeah, I'm sorry. I interrupted you. Go. I just wanted to make sure before I let you answer that I just need to point out, just for our standards department point of view, that we don't know what he said after that or before that. But go ahead.
Well, this kind of vile race baiting trash talk is what President Trump has unleashed from sitting Republican members of the Senate. I mean, to mock his colleague's name in that way, to show such disrespect for the Indian American community here in Georgia, for Black women, to show that kind of open bigotry. But this is who Senator David Perdue, my opponent, has revealed himself to be.
All right, so we're gonna let that ride. I want you to see Jon Ossoff. He raised $1.2 million after David pulled that stunt. Go to actblue.com and support him if you like. I don't know that white man, but I say support him if you like. I think it's totally inappropriate. Totally inappropriate what was done, and I actually stand by it. As we wrap, because it looks like our Trump supporters did not show up, I want to give you another compelling piece of evidence, okay? I want you to see that what we've been talking about, and for some, like, you know, for people like me, that I like live this, I breathe this, I'm here all day, I talk about it all day, I get tired about I'll talk to you about it, though. I'm tired, I will talk to you. The Congressional Black Caucus, specifically Representative Sheila Jackson Lee, I believe is her name. She's from Texas, has spoken out about this support of Ice Cube and 50 Cent and all of this, but specifically the platinum plan that Donald Trump derived with the help of Ice Cube, who's been telling Black people not to vote, but he's not supporting Donald Trump, or that he hasn't. Sheila, Representative Lee says these words: "I have not heard firsthand of any attempt to reach out to any senior members of the caucus about this." And she's referencing the platinum plan. Okay, now look, you can look at Miss Jackson Lee. You see right now she don't play. Look at her. Just take a close look at her. She does not play. However, she says that Donald Trump has not reached out or accepted any request each time that they have desired to speak about the needs of Black America. Now, you're like, well, how can we take Sheila's word for it? I'm going to roll a clip for you that comes from moments. We were moments into Donald Trump's presidency, okay? Moments. We have been in his presidency less than 100 days. And April Ryan, a legendary Black journalist, asked Donald Trump, I'm gonna recant it for you, and then we're gonna play it for you. Asks him if he will meet with the CBC. The CBC, Congressional Black Caucus. Representative Sheila Jackson Lee is a part of the CBC. She just literally said today that she has not heard from him about this platinum plan. Also, the administration has not responded to the request at all about anything. Now, 100 days into the Trump presidency, April Ryan asked Donald Trump if he will meet with the CBC. Watch this.
Are you gonna include the CBC, Mr. President, in your conversations with your urban agenda, your inner city agenda, as well as?
Am I going to include?
Are you going to include the Congressional Black Caucus and the Congressional?
Well,
Hispanic
I would.
Caucus,
I tell you what. Do you want to set up the meeting? Do you want to set up the meeting?
No.
Are they friends of yours?
I'm just a reporter.
No, set up the meeting.
I know some of them, but I'm sure.
Let's go set up a meeting. I would love to meet with the Black Caucus. I think it's great. The Congressional Black Caucus. I think it's great.
He didn't even know who they were. The president of the United States did not even know who they were. It's disgusting, demeaning, and downright damn disrespectful to ask a reporter, are they your friends? Are they my friends because I'm Black? And that's why, oh no, we don't think y'all all look like. What? First he said, the who? Roll that one more time, please. Just one more time. Because I cannot, almost 4 years into his presidency, I cannot believe that this man is the president of these United States.
Are you gonna include the CBC, Mr. President, in your conversations with your urban agenda, your inner city agenda, as well as?
Am I going to include?
Are you going to include the Congressional Black Caucus and the Congressional?
Well,
Hispanic
I would.
Caucus,
I tell you what. Do you want to set up the meeting? Do you want to set up the meeting?
No.
Are they friends of yours?
I'm just a reporter.
No, set up the meeting.
I know some of them, but I'm sure.
Let's go set up a meeting. I would love to meet with the Black Caucus. I think it's great. The Congressional Black Caucus. I think it's great.
I don't have to tell you. Had that been me asking him the same question and he asked me to set it up, I can't work at the White House. Can't do it. But this is who he is, right? This is not new. Who? That's the same thing he was saying when they asked him about meeting with the CBC about Black issues in Black America for the last 4 years. Who? So now you have a platinum plan. Now you got a platinum plan because you know we like platinum grills. Like, come on, bruh. Nobody's buying it. And those of you that are buying it, you are being sold snake oil, okay? This man is a used car salesman, and he sells those high-priced damn Chargers that y'all are going and getting. Never mind. I'm gonna leave y'all alone. Do your research. We're going to continue to do the research for you. Our Trump supporters did not show up tonight, so that's going to be the show. Unmuted Nation Raw continues tomorrow. If those Black Trump supporters, or if you know some Black Trump supporters, have them reach out to us directly. Unmuted Nation on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. email unmutednation@bossfm.com. I am willing and ready to talk to them because I want to have a good time and really want to know why. And it's not just me that wants to know why. Everybody wants to know why. Again, I wouldn't even tell you who to vote for. But I think you should know. A, you should vote, and B, you should know who you're voting for. We'll talk about this week why your vote is much more than who's sitting in that damn house. That's my commitment to you. All right? Unmuted Nation continues tomorrow at 8 p.m. If you missed any part of this, it will air again at 1 p.m. on Boss FM Radio. So download that app. Remember, today is greater. Believe it, speak it, live it. You have to make the choice to be great. Your situation is not your destination, so go and make it your motivation. I'm out. I love you. See you tomorrow.
You about to lose, don't stop. Get this thing. You